The water tower and park in Magdeburg, Salbke. The water tower of Salbke, landmark and emblem of the southeast of Magdeburg. Synonym for the starting industrial revolution. The extraordinary industrial architecture of the concluding 19th century was highlighted with the designing of the water tower and its premises. Due to the industrial upturn and the subsequently increasing transportation of goods, the railway workshops of Buchau reached its territorial limits. The former Royal Prussian Railway Company found an adequate location for a new workshop complex with an independent water supply in Salbke, an erstwhile suburb of Magdeburg. This site was favorable for two reasons. Firstly, due to the already existing railway line between Magdeburg and Halle. Secondly, the near to the river Elbe allowed for water supply independent from the municipality. The turbulent industrial progression did not stop at the business of water preparation. Soon, steam engines were replaced by electric motors. The copper of the housetop of the water tower was used for military purposes and replaced by roofing cardboard. Later on, the water tower solely served as a reservoir for firewater. Due to wind and storm, the tower lost parts of its housetop during the 70s of the past century. Already in the 1930s, the water supply of the main railway workshops was covered by the regional network. With a height of 138 feet, the water tower surmounts all surrounding buildings and is viewable for a long way from all directions. The tower was constructed according to the plans of engineer Otto Inzer. The diameter of the riveted twin container is 49 feet. With a height of 23 feet, the reservoir's usable capacity is 35,315 cubic feet. The twin container is arranged at a level of 82 feet. From this results, depending on the fill level of the reservoir, a water pressure of 2.5 to 3.2 bar. The filter cellar complex was designed as a slow sand filter and has a size of 262.5 by 98.5 feet. The height is 14.4 feet. In order to filter the water, the entire cellar was evenly filled with an approximately 3 feet thick layer of gravel. The division into 3 identical filter sections enabled an alternating cleaning of the facility. During this cleaning procedure, the filter gravel was transported out of the cellars via tipping wagons and manually cleaned in the grit washing. The Tower Park. A little factory-owned village for the workers of the workshops was built just north of the Tower Park. Between the settlement and the waterworks, a park was designed. It was supposed to serve recreation and additionally offered a venue for cultural events. Since 1990, the water tower premises were not used anymore, ever since they were property of the German Federal Office for Railway Assets. The principle of water preparation. Steam-driven plunger pumps drew the water from the nearby Elbe and led it into the 2 settling basins. There, it was cleaned from rough components like sludge and plant remains in the first stage. In the second stage, the water was run into one of the 3 filter basins of the slow sand filter where it was freed from further impurities. Accordingly, it gained the demanded drinking water quality. Owing to an enactment of the Imperial Chancellor, the filtered water was thoroughly examined. This was conducted in a factory-owned laboratory which was located on the ground floor of the water tower. Steam engine-driven pumps led the purified water into the storing tank of the water tower. Thanks to a modern pipe system, the main railway workshop and the tenements were constantly provided with drinking water. At the beginning of the 20th century, a newly developed device, which reduced the high iron content of the Elbe water, was set up inside the water tower. The plinth of the water tower is octagonally structured. To each of the 8 corners, an abutment crested with freestone is attached. The base carries a cone-shaped body containing the 3-level staircase, which gives access to the water supply's container and valves. The weathering of the tower's shaft and at the same time support for the inside container constitutes a ring made of granite stones. The water container consists of riveted steel plates and is self-supporting. All incidental loads, such as roof and sheathing of the container, are attached to the statically active construction of the inside container. The sheathing of the boiler area consists of a steel skeleton which is covered with burnt clinker. Additionally, the sheathing of the boiler is decorated with annealed clinker. The remarkable feature of the tower is the indoors placed chimney with a height of 138 feet, which back then owned an artistically forged lightning arrestor as its closing off. The neighboring boiler and powerhouse was built from red bricks in the statutory format of the German Empire, the so-called Reichsformatstein. It is a single-story, 2-span hall construction carried out in a historicizing style. The external facade is garnished with highly molded eaves and corner strips, as well as corner pilaster strips and gable crests. The walls are structured in equally sized areas and optically separated by jutting piers. The boiler and powerhouse has a base area of 4,424 square feet and a height of 27.9 feet. Between 1940 and 1990, the Tower Park was used for various purposes: as a garden, as a kindergarten, and a swimming pool. Visions for the water tower. In November 2010, the water tower was acquired by the city of Magdeburg with the goal to secure it and to renovate the powerhouse. In the course of the International Construction Exhibition 2010, with the theme Living at and with the River Elbe, the Water Tower Park represented an example for innovative urban development. There are a few considerations concerning the use of the water tower and its premises. The artist group HO from Magdeburg, Westerhusen, founded a supporting association for the water tower premises. For this, a concept has been developed setting the following focuses on the water tower and the powerhouse. Using of the powerhouse as galleries and studios, a sculpture park, utilization of the open areas for events and outside catering, creation of parking. Further future possibilities for the use of the tower premises, which are open for discussion, have been developed with the citizens of Magdeburg's quarters, Salbke, Vermesleben, and Westerhausen, and the residentiary associations. A connection of the existing paths to the Elbe cycle route, thereby the area can gain access to the tourism of the River Elbe. Gastronomy in the plinth of the water tower, exhibition space, and a pure viewing platform. Use of the water tower by an astronomical society. Construction of a children's playground on the grounds of the tower park. After their renovation, the buildings of the former vocational school could accommodate the following facilities: a kindergarten, a youth center, a conference center, an association or a cycling hotel, the roof area can be used for solar systems. Imaginable for the filter cellar are a venue for concerts and other events and a bowling alley. The already filled former water basins can be converted into little appealing water games. With this concept, the basic ideas of the builders of the Tower Park are picked up again. It is supposed to be accessible to the public and to serve the recreation.